Hi and welcome back to my airbrushing tips and tricks video guide series. And in the last episode rather, I was talking about choosing a compressor, and I pretty much recommended something like what you're seeing now, except I went, well, in hindsight I would have gone with the option with the actual extra tank that would be at the bottom. But if you want to see the reasonings behind that, then please check out my last video. But for this video I'm just going to show you what I have at the moment. So first of all, just apologise for the nature of the shakiness of this video. I'm going to be moving around a little bit, comparing between the two compressors that I have. This is my spare one, so all I'm doing here is I just want to show you that whichever one you go for, these are all kind of the same thing. This one's slightly different. It's a 1/5 horsepower, pretty heavy thing, about 3.5 kilograms and 1400 RPM. And then the one I actually use, my main one, is pretty much the same thing. This one's 1/6 horsepower, and pretty much all the same specs. So all I'm saying is, if you look at my last video where I was showing you where to buy these things, then it's all pretty much the same kind of thing. So don't worry too much about the exact same kind of spec that I have and trying to match it, basically. Okay, so I showed you what to go for, and this is, in my opinion, the best kind of compressor to get. Now I'm just going to show you roughly what to expect when you actually buy one. So obviously there's going to be a mains cable, so that goes into the back of the compressor. And then what you have here, this whole thing's made out of metal, by the way, it's pretty heavy. And on-off switch here, there's a little fan extractor that allows the heat to come out. But basically, what this big metal block here is basically where the piston is, and it gets really hot. In fact, the whole thing gets really hot. So just be careful if you've got kids lying around and you're using these things. So with a couple of hours of use, the whole body can be really, really hot. So I'll turn my main one on in just a little bit, by the way. I'm just showing you because I find it easier just to have a bit of a close-up with this one. So, and this is where the air comes out, so of course you'll have a hose connected to that. So I'm just going to run over now and show you what it's like when you actually use one of these things. So if I turn this on, and the good thing is that it's not too loud, so let's just do that. So this is what you can expect. I mean, I don't know how this is coming across, but I would say the actual compressor is equal distance between the camera mic and where I am talking from. So if you can still hear me over this, then that should show you how quiet this thing is for a compressor. So don't get me wrong, I mean, it's still loud, but it's for a compressor it's really not bad. And what you can see here is, I'm just going to turn this back off now, but you can see there's an actual dial here on the actual pressure that this is generating, and this is a moisture trap. So let's talk a little bit more about that with the compressor off so you can hear me properly. So I've had a few questions about this, and basically what PSI do I use? So you can go for all sorts really, there's no real right or wrong, but obviously you want the lower end of the range, because this one goes all the way up to 100 PSI, which is way more than you need. So I probably use about 25 to 30, just so you know, and the intentions with that is that it's a little bit higher than I actually need. I probably only use about 15 PSI normally, but I can adjust that at the other end of my various airbrushes. I actually have little controllers like like this one here. I can control how much pressure actually comes out of it, and also I have one of these, which I also have a little valve. This is the other end of the cable, by the way. But I also have a valve here that controls the pressure as well. So I will explain all this in another video, because that is quite a lengthy topic, so I'll not cover that in this one. But let's just stick with what we're talking about, which is pretty much what you can expect when you buy a brand new compressor, and just a basic anatomy. So as I showed you in this one here, the hose goes into here, so same thing with this one over here, except what you have between the hose and the compressor is always a moisture trap, which is what this funky little looking thing is. And that is basically just it's like a filter basically. It's got some it's got like a little bit of sand in it, I think, but basically as you're using it, it doesn't look like it now, but as you're using it, it will fill up with like condensation and water, and you will see it sort of filling up here. And the way you release it on my one, like if it gets to too much water, you'll push this button down here and it just sort of dumps it basically. So I'll explain moisture traps in another video, but that's what you have between the compressor and the hose. And then of course the hose comes all the way out, and then you normally have it looking like this, and it just drops into the various airbrushes. So you know, it will what you see here is a quick release, so it will just snap in. Again, I'll talk about this in the next video perhaps, but I won't show you too much detail right now. But basically that is what you can expect when you have a compressor like this. So yeah, I think in the next episode we'll talk about the actual moisture traps and some quick release systems and various airbrushes you can have. The only thing I would say is if you're buying into this kind of thing, then do make sure, well, like I say in the last video, try and buy it as a package, because what happens is you will have different fittings here, which is you know, the actual source coming out of the compressor. So depending on what size this is will depend on what size the hose you need is. And then not only that, with the hose, just ignore this, this is another little moisture trap that I have, but depending on the hose will depend on the other side of the sort of exit that comes out. And then of course each airbrush also has a different size nozzle as well. Sorry, not nozzle, the you know, the hose connector area. So basically, if you follow my advice in the last video, then if you're just starting off, then it's easy to get all these things separate and get them wrong, and then you're going to need all kinds of funky adapters. So the best bet is to just buy an actual system, which is a complete package, because as I showed, it's probably cheaper if you get them all in the first place, and you won't need to worry about things not fitting basically. So yeah, just so you know, I think all of my things are 1/8 of an inch sort of size, so that's basically it. I'll see you in the next video basically. If you like this video, then please press like and subscribe if you haven't. I do apologise the shakiness of this video. I normally have it on a tripod, but this time around I thought it'd be a bit more mobile. And as always, if you want to check out all the other parts, then look at my YouTube channel, but also I have a website which is www.gundammodelkits.co.uk, and you can see everything neatly organised in there. So once again, thank you, and I'll see you soon.